everyone. Thanks for joining me. My name is Carlos. Today we're going to be getting into a very productive chest and arm session. But before we do, please hit that subscribe button, like, share, and post notifications. Okay, so we are in the last stretch of our calorie deficit, last few weeks, and it is imperative in this state, this state of calorie deficit, to retain muscle mass. It's so easy to lose weight, but lose muscle in the process. The science, the trick to this is not to lose your muscle. So how do you do that? Well, first of all, you have to maintain your protein high. There's certain thresholds that you have to reach in order not to consume your muscle, and while you're going low carb and low calorie. So you should maintain your protein a little bit higher than 1 gram per pound. If you go a little bit too high, you can also develop a syndrome where you start to consume protein as a primary energy source, and this can trick your body into using muscle also as an energy source. So you want to be very careful in balancing. It's always about balance. You don't want to go to extremes. Sometimes extremes are called for very short periods of time, but if you protract and prolong a very low carb strategy, you will create muscle attrition, you will lose muscle mass. So you want to be very careful with that. Also, the protein, in my experience in these last few weeks and months, is best ingested like in the morning, in your breakfast. Like the breakfast is like my major protein meal. Like I'll eat about 100 grams, 110 grams of protein for breakfast, and then I'll spread out the other 150 grams throughout my other 3 or 4 meals during the day. So it helps definitely after your fast. My last meal of the day is usually around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and my breakfast is around 4 a.m. I get up very early in the morning, so at 4 a.m., 4:30, I'm eating my first meal. I'm starving at that hour, and that's when I have, my 200 grams of chicken breast. I'll have 4 whole eggs, and I'll have a little bit of carb. It won't go beyond 25 net grams, though. So this is the strategy, nutrition-wise, to try to maintain as much muscle as you can. The other strategy is maintaining your weightlifting regime as heavy and as strong as you can. So nutrient timing is key for the gym. You don't want to go to the gym fasted. You don't want to go to the gym when you're hungry. You want to be full of energy when you hit the gym. And you want to hit the weights as hard and heavy as you can. The old school tradition of going high reps, lower weight on a cut is a recipe for diminishing your muscle mass. Your body will adapt accordingly to the increased work volume, but at a lower weight, and that will not bring the benefits and results that you want. You want to maintain your intensity as heavy and as hard as you can. Obviously, the limitations are your food, but you want to, in any case, you want to lift as heavy as possible. So I've been maintaining progressions on most of my compound lifts throughout these last few weeks, and today was no exception. So on the bench press, on the incline bench, last week the parameters were with 80 kilos, 11 reps, 90 kilos, 5 reps, and 100 kilo, 1 rep. And this week we upped the 100 kilo to 3 reps, and it felt kind of easy. I did not go to failure on any of these. There's a lot of people that love to go to failure, but if you are making progressions, that is not needed. Save your energy to fight another day if you are progressing. If your parameters are increasing, don't push it so hard that you're going to burn the muscle and not be able to recuperate properly. Your next session will suffer, and you may not hit your new goals. So failure is best left for certain situations. In these progressions, if you're making progress, that's not needed. So 100 kilos went from 1 to 3 reps. The 90 kilos went from 5 to 7. And the 80 kilos went from 11 to 12. So making progress on that scheme there, and feeling much more confident on the top set, like on the heavy set. Like last week, I was very nervous about doing the 100 kilo. I don't have spotters. I don't use anybody to help me or anything. If I can't do it by myself, if I can't pull it off by myself, I have no business trying. So last week, it was like, what? And that was it. I couldn't have gotten 2. And this week it was 3. I could have gotten 4. So I'm very confident that my next session, I'm not going to try to go up in weight because 3 from 100 to 110 kilos is quite a jump. I'll try to increase my reps with that weight. So uh, from there we went to the flat bench dumbbells. Now last week we were using 50 pounders and 65 pounders, and it felt, obviously that's not very heavy weight at all. It was very, it was a very light session, but the 65 pounders, it was okay. I got a nice pump, and it was, I got in some volume, but we have to up those parameters. So this week it was 75 pounds. And 75-pound dumbbells can feel, they can feel kind of heavy depending on the attitude that you grab them with. And so as I grabbed them off the rack, I said, oh shit, these are kind of heavy. But as soon as I got it into my mind that I'm just going to, attack this set with everything that I have, instantly that aggressiveness, that aggression kicked in, and just, lug these dumbbells up onto the legs and then just bomb them out. And it felt pretty damn easy. I got 2 sets of those, and then from there went to the biceps. Now with the biceps, we're not really doing progressions in weight. What we're trying to do is cram in as much work in as short a period of time as possible. Now let me explain a little bit something about power and strength. When you use your maximum effort, you use all your strength, the cell takes around 3 minutes to replenish its ATP. So if you do these sets like without much rest, you're defrauding yourself of your maximum strength. But in this case, what we're trying to do is congest the muscle with as much blood as possible and cram in as much work volume within a limited period of time. So that's not really a consideration. We're not going for our maximum output. We just want to do a lot of work within a short period of time. So supersets is what is called for in these situations. So I was supersetting between the Z-bar, and the technique here is not to like bring it out so far in front, but kind of like a drag curl. Hold it here for a second, and then just drag it in, hold it, and then do the alternating dumbbells immediately afterwards. Did 3 sets of those, so that'd be a total of 6 working sets there. And then we finished with the dumbbell isolation preacher curl, which is a great finisher. Now, with this one, it really depends on how you position your wrist. If you leave your wrist out like that, it creates more tension on the biceps, and it's a more difficult lift. You have a greater length, which produces a greater effort on the biceps. So as you fatigue, you can bring in your wrist more and more and more, and that shortens the arm, enabling you to get more reps in, and it becomes much easier to finish off. But it creates also more workload in a shorter period of time, which is what we want to do. Did a couple of sets of those, and that was it for the day. That was just, a finisher for the chest routine, and it was great. Oh, I'm sorry. We started off with the abdominals. So trying to do a circuit before any workout. So we do a circuit of inclined abdominals, hanging leg raises, and I'm doing these obliques on the hyperextension machine. I see a lot of women do these and hardly any men do them, but let me tell you, it's been helping a lot with the lower lat tie-in in the glute and the obliques, obviously. Some people try to avoid oblique work, saying it'll thicken their waist. What thickens the waist is the fat. If you are on a deficit and you're reducing your body fat, the waist will tighten up. It'll come in. And what you want to do is build up the muscles to, or at least tighten them up. And so you get a lot of definition between the glute, the lower lat, and the oblique. And that's what creates a very, pleasing visual effect from behind, at least, with a nice tie-in with the glute and the flaring lats and everything. So don't worry about building up your midsection by doing waist exercises. They do work. They are helpful, and I've been including them for the last month or two, and they've been really helping a lot. So that was basically it for today. I'll leave the training video at the end of this segment, and that'll be all. We'll see you all next time. God bless everybody. I love you all. Until then.